What's going on, good people of the internet? It is time once again for Comics Unmasked, the podcast where a bunch of folks shoot the breeze and talk about comic books and such. We are live, actually live for the people who are in the chat with us. Shout out to the 5 people hanging out with us. We are live for episode 37 of the podcast. It's a bit of a light week in terms of comic books. There was a couple like new books that came out. I will be trying to get some of the crew's thoughts on the stuff that came out, but like DC Next Level is in full swing, and that has been fun for us. But there has been some hot news that has been dropping in the streets from the different publishers and whatnot. MegaCon was this weekend, and Scott Snyder had a panel that was kind of dope. But we're going to go ahead and dive into the news, folks. Don't forget you can follow this podcast on Apple, Spotify, your mama's fridge, your calculator, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, wherever you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to us, except for SoundCloud. Because SoundCloud to this day, after 10 years, actually after 15 years, still makes you pay money to host on their platform, which doesn't make a lick of damn sense to me, but it's what it is. Like everybody else got on board with just like streamlining stuff. Why can't SoundCloud? I don't understand to this day. But you can also just follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky at Comics Unmasked. Well, Twitter, it's Comics Unmasked Pod. There's one guy who has the Comics Unmasked username, but he like is inactive and it doesn't do anything. And so we might have to save for a trademark at some point. But we go ahead and jump into the mix. My name is JP. To my left, because the actual interface is actually cooperating today, and I'm very happy about that. We have the girl who has a Kickstarter that she needs to pimp, on the show. Needs to actually get shit popping. I'm gonna pull a Kira and grill you. Tashi, tell these people about what you doing, what you do, and how are you today?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever bothered. I'm Natasha Tashi. I'm the co-founder of Midnight Comics. We do have a Kickstarter going right now. I'm also suffering from allergies because if you know anything about Atlanta weather, it was literally snowing last week while I wasn't home. And then I came home and now it's allergy season and I'm dying. And I'm already tired because I was gone all week at a mathematics conference where I was doing a presentation with my mother, who is a math teacher, about using comic books in the classroom to teach mathematics. So that was fun. We were in New Orleans, so we got to walk around Canal Street and everything. It's just like I remember last time I was there. It smells weird and everyone's drunk.
I mean, didn't Mardi Gras just happen, or am I crazy?
St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day.
We were there during St. Patrick's Day. I did miss the parade.
Okay.
I saw the after. And yeah, there was a lady spanking a light post when I walked to Walgreens. She just...
All right. Go off.
I was like,
do your thing, girl.
Do you, ma'am? I'm gonna go back to my hotel now with my food. Are you okay?
But tell these people about your Kickstarter. What y'all doing?
Oh yes, so Midnight Comics. We have been doing this for 5 years, and we are currently running a Kickstarter for our 5-year omnibus, which is 675 pages of every story we've ever dropped, sneak peeks of stories we're about to drop, behind the scenes of how we work, talking about our inspirations, old sketches and character designs, and just all that kind of it's everything. Almost everything. If it's something we have something for, it's there, because there's lots of stuff that we don't have anything for but are still in the drive to be worked on.
Okay. Well, we will definitely be having a link to the Kickstarter in the show notes for y'all to check out, because we gotta make sure we support our own here. Next we have, who is below us, Rocket Man, works 47 jobs and gets no sleep. We don't know how he does it, man. Like, if he's not reading comics, he's out here working. We appreciate him. B-Rex, how you doing?
I am doing great. I got sick over last week, and I got to read more comics than I felt like I could read in a lifetime. I went through the omnibus, and I hit page 542 in volume 1 in just a few days, and I was like, yes, I'm loving this. This is great, and it's messed up. It's weird, and I can't believe this got past the censors, and it got brought down by a condom, and it's like, this makes no sense to me. This makes no sense to me. Like, I don't
might have
get
to cover
this.
Milestone at some point because that's one of my favorite things that I think about a lot is that
Yeah.
they were so upset about the condom being on the cover of the one issue, but they let Death Wish happen, and I'm like, that's a weird hypocrisy that I can't really understand to this day. Y'all let Death Wish happen, like that, man. You would never see that
After I was
the
done
mainstream.
reading this, I like went out, I smoked, I was talking with my girl, and I was like, I have to explain this, like what I read to this. And like she glossed over all of the like metas, the compromising stuff and all of that other jazz that came down to it. And she was just like, he's in jail at the end of this series, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, he turns himself in. And she's like, okay, because like I don't know how I'd feel if he ever like got let go. And I'm like, I hope they don't let him go because it's messed up on every level.
Spoiler, they let him go.
I knew they were.
He gets his own spinoff. B. That's how this works. Is that like this is him reforming himself, and then he's gonna get his own. He's supposed to be Punisher, basically. He's supposed to be Punisher.
And that's what I was getting the vibe for, is of like, this is like an allegory for the Punisher. I completely get that, but like he did the Punisher dirty. He did the Punisher dirty.
I wouldn't say he did him dirty. I think it was like a great spin on the Punisher concept while also exploring like toxic masculinity in the best way, while also mental health, because it's a great exploration of the idea that like he only did what he did because he went through a traumatic event and it caused his blackouts. So it's like that, like it's a very and like I would say kudos to Dwayne McDuffie at the time for articulating it in a way where like he actually felt remorse for what he was doing. He didn't just stay a supervillain who did dastardly things. Like it was definitely a great growth period for him.
I definitely agree with that. It's just in the entire time I'm seeing those representations of how he looks so close to Punisher, and I'm like, man, this feels real close to home right now, especially after knowing I'm getting Punisher crossovers and stuff like that. And so it's the timing of me reading this personally, but dang, it's still great though. It's still great.
Most definitely. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. The first thing that kind of hit our desk, like right after we published this week's or last week's episode, they finally dropped the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I really debated if I was gonna make a video about it because I was conflicted. Even now I'm conflicted because I'm like, I genuinely like I felt like Ryan Gosling from the Into the Spider-Verse like first like 5 minutes where he's just like, I am so tired. Like that's how I felt when it comes to this. I'm genuinely tired of Peter Parker stories, but I know this is necessary because of how the last one ended. And then I'm watching the trailer, and there was some story beats and fun moments and like fun little quips where I was like, you actually have piqued my interest. Good job. You did the couple things that actually made me want to give a shit. And then I look on Twitter on my lunch break, and I see somebody go, what's that thing on Bruce Banner's wrist? And I'm like, oh, so you just didn't watch She-Hulk. Okay, cool. And we're back to this nonsense. And that awoke a whole conversation about motherfuckers who didn't watch She-Hulk and if She-Hulk is necessary watching and yada yada. And oh, it's woke and not it's just, oh, I'm so exhausted. So it's just like, that's like, I will say, initial thoughts on the trailer, I was enjoying myself. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that this is going to be a fun ride, but I will be wholeheartedly honest with the fact that Tom's got like 2 more movies. He's got like Secret Wars and then like 1 more movie before I'm just kind of tired of this. Like, especially with as much stuff as they stole from Miles Morales in terms of his background. Like, oh, we put him in a STEM school. We got him a scholarship from a white man instead of a lottery. Oh, his best friend is a chubby Asian kid, but then we made him like drop weight crazily because we didn't want to be associated with Genki anymore. But they already made Genki drop weight in the animated movie in the video game to compensate for us casting a chubby Asian kid. Like, there was so much that happened in that span of nonsense that still pisses me off. Like, they even went the extra length with the Genki theft, where they straight up were like, we're gonna make him drop a Lego creation the same way Miles it made a Lego creation explode in the first few issues of Miles's book. And I was like, you really trying too hard. And I remember this too, because right when the movie came out, when Bendis was still writing Miles, there was an issue where Genki has to like go talk to a reporter girl, like the podcaster that's in the video games. He goes to talk to her, and she's like, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Ned," and she's like, "You don't look like a Ned," and he's like, "What? Fair, but like that's my name," and it was so dumb. And like for chat for Diesel asked in chat that they asked Jake to drop weight. I don't know if they made him drop weight or if it was just man was getting his health together,
Mm-hmm.
but the lines draw a little too clean if you catch my drift. Like shout out to Jacob for like getting healthier, but it's also just like them lines, especially in the second movie where, or like the second and third movie where it felt like they were making him wear baggy clothes the way he still appeared somewhat fat. I was like, I feel like I'm at the pin board with the string going like, y'all doing this on purpose, damn it, and I don't like it, and it's annoying. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see what they do. To the comic speculator market over on Key Collector and all these comic speculators. If y'all don't quit specking on Hobgoblin's first appearance, I'm gonna smack all y'all upside the head because they're all like, "Oh, Jacob's gonna become Hobgoblin because he's Ned Leeds," and it's like, shut up. Like apparently Jacob took a picture of a copy of that book one time in a comic store, and that's made everyone think he's gonna become Hobgoblin because like he's mad at Peter for erasing his memory. And I'm like, shut up. Who cares, bro? So we'll see. I don't know. Tashi, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I do have to say, as much as I enjoy the Spider-Man movies, the Milesisms have been the thing that always tugs at me in the back. But I enjoyed the trailer. Spider-Man is not my favorite superhero. He's my brother's favorite superhero. And so, and the original Spider-Man movies have always come out around my birthday. Now, this one's not, unfortunately. So, Spider-Man movies have always had a special place in my heart in general. So it makes me have a little softer spot and go a little easier on it. But I did enjoy the trailer. I am excited. I am hopeful, more hopeful for this than some things for other trailers I've seen. So I like some of the callbacks. I like some of the things I'm seeing. I am curious about the man spider thing, but I don't think they're gonna go all the way. I think they're just gonna have that moment real quick to be like, "Hi, look, we did a thing to hint at a thing that happened, but that's it. We're gonna pull back. We're not going all the way because, like B said earlier, none of this is gonna matter in a little bit, which I absolutely hate. That everything's gonna get reset, so nothing matters, and that probably is the thing that annoys me the most with most of the stuff coming out. Is why does any of it matter anymore? And that makes me upset.
D, what you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so I just basically think because they're going to do the universe reset, they need to go balls to the walls and give us everything that they could possibly do and pull like multiverse shenanigans and Miles Morales out of nowhere. And then for some reason we get Gwen's, oh my God, Spider Gwen out there as well. Cause like, if you're going to do the universe reset, you might as well try to go all out at this point and try to give the fans something because you're teasing a lot of stuff that are going back to like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man almost. And I appreciate that as the person who was introduced to Spider-Man through Tobey Maguire. And I go, oh, he doesn't actually have that webbing when I get older. And I go, he creates his own. And I go, that's actually a lot cooler because it makes more sense that he does that, you know? And you can have your preferences, completely understandable, but it almost feels like it's them gonna be like, I'm teasing balls to the walls, but then I'm pulling it away from you. And I'm like, you guys could be there. You guys could really be there. And like comic book movies can be this big miraculous thing now when you want them to be. We've seen it happen. You guys almost gave us that in the like last Spider-Man movie when we got the other three Spider-Man popping in. You guys are so close. Like with the Spider-Verse and everything, they're so close. And it would be amazing to just see them one movie get it all done, and then you guys can do your universe restart, and I can say this is my favorite Spider-Man stuff.
Can I add on to that too? Growing up,
Go for it.
never understood that. I was like, wait, when I finally my favorite Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, When Ben Riley finally first appeared, I was like, wait a second. Why does the clone get organic webbing? Shouldn't he have organic webbing? Peter's the one that was bitten by a spider. That's part of spider powers, organic webbing. He has web shooters, but Ben gets organic webbing. That seems unfair to me.
Well, because like here's the thing: the organic webbing was just a Tobey Maguire thing. They
Oh, no, yeah.
they technically pulled it with the clone thing, is like, oh, clones have experimental powers and shit like that, and that was a fun little gimmick. But then the comics had to bring it in Spider-Man the Other because they felt like having movie synergy, and it was like, ugh. And then they had this whole thing where like they introduced the concept of a spider totem, and that Peter's linked to this whole network, and it was like a network before Spider-Verse, and it was weird and convoluted. And then they ended up just retconning it 5 minutes later, and it was just like, what was the point of all this?
To finish that storyline.
Yeah. And it's just like, it was very convoluted and nonsensical. So like the fact that we're visiting this concept only to then like we're gonna get rebooted later. And I will say, the way they're setting this up, like this straight up just is Brand New Day. It's a brand new chapter. We're moving on to like a new trilogy almost. I am afraid they're going to rush all this out just so we get like a whole trilogy package. But I'm just like, and then Red Squirrel said in chat that 2099 had organic webs. Yes, I do remember that. Like that friggin' Miguel had organic webs, but it's like, I think the whole idea was that Peter had some spider powers, but he engineered the rest of the concepts that way he could be Spider-Man, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it just always bothered me growing up. Even before the Toby movies, and a lot of people was like, "Oh yeah, Spider-Man has webbing." No, he doesn't. He made that. Only the movies did that, guys. As someone who grew up on Spider-Man, it
But
just
yeah,
bothered me.
how we feeling about Frank being here? Because I'm conflicted. I like, somebody was even like, "Oh, Frank got a better suit in the movie than he does in his own TV show," and I'm like, "That's because he's got a movie budget, dumbass." Like, it's very much like they're worried that like, oh, the whole web joke means they're gonna try to censor Frank, and it's like, no, you can't just cuss nonstop in a trailer.
Right.
Frank will pop off a little bit at some point.
I have a feeling there's going to be like deleted scenes to where like it's going to be the cut off point for us in the theater, because they're going to try to keep it at some like PG-13, but they're going to have an extended length to where like, what was it, at the end of the Deadpool when it shows oh my gosh, Captain America swearing like a sailor, and then like, you know, we're gonna have the Frank doing that. They're gonna have something at the end that's gonna just phase to that, because you know they're not gonna miss that opportunity for it. And I kind of found it fun. I found it very fun. Him like interacting with Spider-Man. I like in the trailer, I was like, this looks like it's going to be a fun like portion of the movie. I'm going to be thoroughly entertained to see how like he gets in Spider-Man's way every single time when he's just trying to save the day. You know, like that's kind of what I want to see happen there. It makes sense in a comic book.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of chats, Squirrel said like DC is doing, where they're like rushing out the Superman movies. No, this is different because we know the Marvel universe is resetting at some point. The question is, how much are we getting a reset? Are they gonna all new, all different it and like only reset some of it, or are they gonna go full reboot and put us and give us a new Cap, Iron Man, Thor, etc.? I think it's gonna be an all new, all different Marvel situation, so that way they can keep this little trilogy going. But time will tell, I will say. Banner. I don't know if we needed both Frank and Banner here. Like, it feels mildly excessive. I enjoyed the little, like, what did you say your name was? I enjoyed that little nod of like, maybe the smell didn't fully work kind of thing. But I'm also just like, like, I know there's a whole like deal with Sony to where like that you gotta have a certain amount of Marvel motherfuckers in here per movie, but I'm also just like, do we need you here, Bruce?
I mean, obviously he's there to somewhat fill Connor's role as somewhat of, but it is a little. I like that we saw him, but I don't know. Maybe if it's in passing, real quick, and then that's it. Honestly, I would take the Frank and then leave Bruce out. Honestly, I would take that.
Right.
I 100% agree with that. Take Frank and like we can leave Bruce out. It's gonna be some kind of fill-in, which kind of concerns me because I have a theory that because we don't have Captain America in this world and they're introducing the X-Men, they're going to make Bruce Banner the person that's like, the genetic difference is bad because they are born with it versus us who have it or whatever, you know? And like, I'm hoping they don't go that route in this because it's just a little like tease that they put into the trailer for that when he's talking about DNA and everything. But I hope they don't go down that route with bringing, you know, X-Men and all of that other jazz in.
Just wait till we finish the reset, and then y'all can do that.
I don't know if we're gonna do that though. Like I'm genuinely afraid with like I think my biggest issue with this whole like waiting for the reset thing is that they've kind of already skipped some of that. Like they said, oh, Miss Marvel's a mutant now, and they're playing around these little games with Peter, and I'm just like, y'all need to chill out. Like wait a little bit. Like it's okay to wait for your reset and then say, oh, mutants have been here the whole time. Secret Wars jargon. Like that would have been a better way to go about that instead of just being like, oh, mutants are here now. And I'm like, no.
I initially thought that's what they were going to do, but they lost me, honestly. I thought they were going to just be like, yeah, you know, mutants have been here the whole time. They were in hiding or something. They were somewhere else. We're not worried about them.
I would have accepted it as a moviegoer. They would have been like, we didn't have the mutants now. Here's our excuse to writing them in. They've been here the whole time. They've been working in the background doing mutant things, and we can fill you in on all the lore on the mutants if you guys want it on a TV show. I would have accepted that.
Right. I thought they were going to do the same thing with Fantastic Four. Oh, we've been off world. Because they do that.
Yeah. Right, like why do they have to be in another dimension? Like why couldn't it just be, oh, they were trapped in the negative zone this whole time? That's why I get real tired of the multi like I blame the Flash TV show for this. Like I genuinely blame like teaching casuals about multiverse theory because now every like comic book movie thought it was cool to play with multiverse theory because like first the Flash TV show did it, then the whole CW verse did it, then Doctor Strange started playing with that idea, and then they messed up and called the MCU universe the 616 universe, even though Disney and Marvel have canonically said it's not, and it's like, what are you doing, bud? What are you doing?
So it all goes back to Flash as always. It all started with Flashpoint. It's all
genuinely. It
always flashes.
It always like I can blame Barry Allen for half the issues that have happened in comic books for like over 20, 30 years. And that is like I like ever since he came back to life in the comic books, I'm like, you created stagnation. Good job. And we keep going down the rabbit hole of like, now your TV show has caused problems. Good job. And we just keep going over and over and over again. It's just nonsensical. But I'm excited. I'm down to say, I will say, I want to give a nod to the costuming department because we're getting Scorpion, Tarantula, and Boomerang all in this movie. We don't know for how long of each one. We're finally getting Scorpion, which is a payoff of the first Spider-Man movie. But the comic accuracy of these suits is awesome. Like they really went out of their way to make these suits look pretty baller. So we'll definitely need to see how they play into that as time goes on. Like 80% Barry, 20% Hal Dreamer said, you know what, I can get behind. I would say 60-40. I was because fuck Hal Jordan, but like that's fine. But like so yeah, like 60-40 because Hal Jordan definitely caused problems too. I like where Dreamer's head's at. From there, let's go ahead and jump into the solicitations because we'll start with DC because I need some DC in my life. Let me pull this up real quick because I'm looking at this solicitation, and also just so everyone is aware, that way we have it on record. We are at 1,132 days. Just so y'all know, we're at 1,132 days. I'm not gonna harp on it. Y'all know what's up. We're at 1,132 days, and it's bullshit. But in terms of the solicitation, shout out to appcomics.com for providing the solicitations from DC. It looks like DC finally remembered that they have a Supergirl movie coming out because we're getting a Supergirl summer special. Very excited about that. Like the covers look badass. I'm definitely here for that. Then we're getting in the pages. We're continuing the reign of the Superboys with Action Comics, Superman, and all that fun shit. Um, there's something about having your favorite artist of all time draw your most hated comic book character of all time. It does something to you, man. It does something to you. Like Sanford Green can't like don't miss. But that is my phrase that I always tell people is that Sanford Green just don't miss. So when I see him draw the bane of my existence, Superboy Prime, my heart kind of dies a little inside because I hate Superboy Prime. And if y'all want to know why I hate Superboy Prime, go read Infinite Crisis and then come talk to me because I don't care. Like, oh, you think he's fun? Oh, you think he's like DC's Deadpool? Yada yada, whatever the fuck. I hate him. I cannot stand him. He is the very like Jeff Johns genuinely like intended for him to be the embodiment of the like the Gen X / millennial fan who thinks they know what's right for comic books, and that's cool. Let that die. Like let that end. Let that metaphorical transition end and use it with other characters. Like he had a redemption arc in Dark Knight's Death Metal. And even I thought that was too much. I was like, he shouldn't be allowed to be happy. F this little twerp. I hate him. When you watch him literally punch off the head of Panther, it does something to you. Like maybe I'm weird like that. Maybe it's because I was like 6-7 years old, like pun intended. Like genuinely, I saw this with my own eyes and was like, you know what? I don't like you. Because there's especially when you punched off a woman's head and then turned to everybody else and said, "Look what you made me do," like Taylor Swift, and thought it was gonna be chill. I was like, "Nah, dog, I can't mess with you. I can't." So that's I wanted to make a point about that one. I didn't want to make a video about it, but I will say, shout out to Dan Slott for multiple reasons this episode because this idea with Tomorrow Man and young Jonathan Kent, this was a good read this week. I'll tell you what. Did you read that, B?
I haven't read a lot of Superman, and I dropped off of a few Superman things this past couple of weeks because I had to catch up on more independent stuff, and I wanted to make sure I supported indie, so I had to say sorry, Soupy.
I will say, like, we'll have to have an in-depth discussion at some point, or I'll need to like get some Superman folks. I don't know like, how Tashi. I don't know if you had a chance to read this, but like, I feel as if this idea that we're trying to fix the whole aging up Jonathan Kent was a mistake thing this late in the game. I feel like it's a mistake because, like, you already pulled the trigger on that, and now we're like, I think 5-6 years down the line from when you first not only introduced but also aged up Jonathan Kent. So I'm sitting here and being like, if you would have did this a couple of years ago and like him and Damian would be about around the same age still, I could get behind it. But like this younger version of Jonathan is like at least 2 or 3 years younger now than Damian in continuity. It's like Damian's had the full growth period and a couple birthdays since the last time young Jonathan saw him. And like him and like older Jonathan and Damian have had a couple adventures since then. So like it feels as if we have older Jonathan and newer Jonathan with Damian in the middle now, and I feel like it's a mistake because now you can't just go back and say, "Hey, we have Super Sons again, everybody. Are you happy?" You can't do that. You can't call Tomasi and Jimenez back in and just redo that. Like now they're like he's too old and too young, and Damian's too old for that to work. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Tashi, do you have a thought on that? Because I don't.
Yeah, no, they're definitely messed up. I'm sorry. You were like, you can't just do Super Sons, and I was just like, oh yeah. DC would be like, watch this.
I hate to say it, I agree with her though, because I'm like, they're just still gonna pull it. They're gonna pull. You hate it, but it goes back to the Flash. They'll break something for it.
But no, it was too late. I mean, I did like the art, but I don't know. I've been keeping up with it without having to actually read it. Just because I have my ways. But it's interesting. I don't know what made them say, yeah, this is a good idea. I don't necessarily dislike the Tomorrow Man thing, though I think it's interesting being the son of the man of tomorrow.
And like they even harken back to the whole Nightwing idea from Krypton with the emblem and whatnot, which I thought was kind of cool.
The mask can go. I kind of don't hate the rest of the fit, but the mask can go.
Right.
I'm curious to see what they do. We'll see what they do. Hey, let's see what maybe it won't be terrible. I mean,
right.
You know, the art looks good. The art looks good.
The art looks dope, and I'm excited. Like the issue was cool, and like Slott did a cool job, like kind of critiquing the comic book community with the imp that did the whole split thing. I thought that was really cool and ingenious in that way. But it's like, what do you like? This feels a little too late.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel about the mask the way people felt about that Miles suit in the Spider-Man game.
I have like PTSD from that shit. Oh my god.
Just take it.
See, like I don't mind. Like, maybe this is me like being like mildly like prejudice against white people. I think white people pull it off better. But like when you specifically give it like gave Miles the Killmonger fit, it felt like how people used to joke about like, oh, how does Virgil Hawkins have a secret identity when like he is the same hair as Static? They don't try to fix it really at all. Like that's kind of how this feels too, where it's like when you have such a distinct hairstyle with a character. It like because like that could be any random black hair white man for all you know. Like that could be anybody. That doesn't matter who that could be. But if you straight up just put the Killmonger fit on Miles, that just like how many brothers you know who like rolled around New York with a Killmonger fit? Like that just
no other black person in the entire city has the same hairstyle somehow.
So it felt weird to do. Like I've seen characters pull off that look very well, but it felt a little strange for Miles to get it. I will say I'm excited for this Supergirl Survive miniseries, but much like a lot of things I'm seeing from DC right now, I just kind of tilt my head and go, "Did we need this? Did we need this?" I don't know.
I appreciate it. It looks cute. I got more excited for the dead man that was right below it, if I'm being honest.
I did too. I'm still waiting.
Like that art for some of this, that last one, that one right there. I was like, I might have to like try to figure out how to get that cover a couple times over.
And like I just like the minute you told me the Ice Cream Man team was hopping on a Dead Man book, I was like sold all day. Like I'm down. Like that's a vibe. Like that's what I mean. Like when some people say like, oh, if you're gonna like protest DC, you need to protest all white books. It's like, nah, because like I can respect other creators who have like not done problematic shit and read some stuff occasionally in trade or like on release day of a #1 and check it out because this is our job. And also it's kind of like I can do a tax write-off and like be honest about it because this is supposed to be for our show and whatnot. That's kind of how I feel about that in regards to that. Lobo having his book Scotty Young, that first issue was a banger. I'm excited to see what Scotty Young does with this.
I did read that. It pulled me in. I was not a big fan of Lobo. I kind of just thought he was just a generic villain from everything that I've seen, and he's just supposed to kind of be like wisecracking. And this really pulled me into like, what are they going to do with his character? And so Scotty Young got me pulled.
Didn't read it yet. I've not read the Lobo yet, but that's not to say I won't because I do like Lobo as a character in general.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. I'm just like, I'm so glad it's not skinny New 52 Lobo. Like, banish him to like when they referenced him in DCKO. I was like, put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Like, I don't want nothing to do with that ever again. Like, don't bring that thing near me.
So this issue too references it as well, and I love how they do it in this issue because they're just like, we're just gonna skirt past that point. We don't need to talk about that. We're giving you a quick origin story. Yes, this was a thing, but no, it wasn't. Let's just I wasn't there at that moment.
Huh. That's funny. Actually.
In terms of Deathstroke the Terminator.
Oh, you mean the pedophile?
So like, I have so many thoughts on this because like someone even like I've been seeing people in association with DC So White bring this up on Twitter they're like, oh, Jonah Hex got a book and he's a Confederate soldier, or like Destro got a book and he's a PDF file, and I'm like, yeah, but like, here's the thing, and I kind of said this when people were excited that Terra was coming back in the Titans a while back. I will wholeheartedly co-sign the fact that Slade is a horrible individual.
I mean, he's not supposed to be a great person.
Right. He's supposed to be a villain. But like y'all acting like because you have PTSD from the animated TV show that Tara wasn't a horrible little individual. Slade may have enabled her and groomed her to a certain extent, but Tara was a really bad narcissistic little worm. Like y'all, like B just read the Judas Contract for the first time this past like few months. Like Tara ain't no angel. Like
No.
she was just as bad as Slade. So like that's not to say like women aren't victims. No, women are definitely victims. Like most definitely. Like as someone who's been assaulted, I can tell you that like victims should be heard most definitely. But the way that Marv Wolfman definitely writes Tara to be just as vindictive and shitty as Slade, that's intentional. And like I even like as much as I hate the New 52 animated movies, they even tried to hint at that in the New 52 Judas Contract movie that Tara's honestly a little bit of a shit. So like I was even tilting my head at the Young Justice TV show where they like just made Tara innocent. I was like, Wiseman, don't do it. I was like, don't you do that. Don't keep putting sincerity in this little girl. Don't do it.
And that's the thing is to where like I like to see the sincerity out of her now because I know what's supposed to come next. Because if you understand where the story's supposed to go, she is supposed to like rip your heart out. It feels like from the like perception of the Teen Titans, you know? And I love that idea for the team, but like you can't make her a good person throughout the whole time. You have to show the cracks in her character. That is very important because then she's just, I hate to say it, then she's just a generic character that's there for Beast Boy almost. And I don't want that. I actually want a character who has some depth and value to them.
Mm-hmm. I like what Diesel said in the comments just now, honestly.
She's a product of her grooming, though, and was still a child. You know what? I can get behind that.
That is true.
That is very fair. I will definitely get behind that. I just like, I remember even when Christopher Priest wrote her in his run on Deathstroke, because like, I don't like reading Slade. I read Slade books for people like Rose because I'm a Rose fan. But like, even or like, I read Priest's run because it was Priest, not because it was Slade. And even in Priest's run, he balances her being a shit human in the best way possible. And I appreciate that because they don't run from the fact that she's a vindictive little craphead. So I appreciate that. But I will definitely agree, relent to that she is a product of what she went through. But like, damn, is she just a bad individual? And like, they're even hinting that they're gonna like try to like Tay Bromwell's hinting in New Titans that he's gonna try to mend fences and make her a good individual again. And I'm like, do we need that? Do we like? I'm all down for redemption, but like, we've tried that so many times with Tara. And there's only so many times you can get hit with a rake before it gets annoying. Like I feel the Sideshow Bob pain where it's like, do we need to keep walking into this rake? But like, Tashi, if I'm wrong, tell me, like, genuinely.
Mm-hmm. I akin it to Junji Ito story. Is it Tomui? Where it's Tomui. Where technically Tomui in the Junji Ito story is a victim. She's not the perfect victim. She's terrible. She's a terrible person. She's a monster at the end of the day. I don't know if anyone's read Tomui. I have it on my bookshelf. I have a lot of Junji Ito on my bookshelf. Yeah, she's a horrible, horrible person. But at the end of the day, she is still a victim because she's being victimized by a lot of the guys that are coming through her home. And I kind of akin it to that, where it's like, unfortunately, every victim isn't the perfect victim. Where you're like, oh man, look at that person who was victimized and they're such a sweet person, and that's not fair. Some people are victims and they also are sucky people. Just finished having a real life conversation about somebody that we know who was victimizing a person that we know personally. And it's because they were also victimized. It's like, but that doesn't give you an excuse. It's like, what you went through is an excuse to be a horrible person, but I'm sorry you went through that at the same time.
The Justice League is full of villains again. Why can't Tara get some redemption with the Titans? I mean, I think, like, here's the thing. I would be so down if we'd have crossed this bridge, like, maybe in the early 2000s and stuck with it.
Maybe
Like,
2010s. I didn't even
right, like the problem is we keep playing this game where, like I feel like the meme from SpongeBob where it's like, how many times do we need to keep playing this game, old man? Like I like, if we're gonna do it, just do it. But like, even with the brand new issue of New Titans number 33 we had this week, where they play the game of the Titans never change their status quo too much, they kind of like talk about it there too, where Tay kind of points out that like Tara comes back again and is evil, but then learns her lesson and then dies, and like is evil again, and it's just like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it and commit to it, is what I'm throwing down, if that makes sense.
But I mean, that would require, your Marvel and your DC to commit to story beats and keep them consistent.
Or like, I'll even admit someone like Rose Ravager. She's had growth. She's risen from being a victim in her time. Like, that's why I love this cover, because when Rose pulls up and shows that she's one of the baddest bitches to ever do the damn thing, it's a great time. So like, you can do a victim story and do it well, in my opinion. I think Rose is a perfect example of that. Like, some people aren't the biggest fan of what Jeff Johns did with Rose. I still think it's great. That's what I would definitely say in regards. And then Diesel said, not gonna lie, I feel like there's been too many villains getting redemption arcs for a while now. Exactly.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
I'm also tired of the sympathetic villain so much.
Yes. And like, I'll even like there was even a guy on Twitter who genuinely wanted to understand why I hate Hal Jordan. And I even told him, I'm like, look, some people have bad deaths. Some people have bad deaths, and some people just need to stay dead. And like, he was like, oh, well, if this character or this character or this character can have redemption, why can't Hal have redemption? And I'm like, because fuck Hal. Like genuinely, like I mean that like very sincerely. Like there's some characters that just don't need to come back, and Hal is the perfect example of a character that just didn't need to come back, and he has caused some of the worst stagnation in comic books to this day that we've yet to ever talked about and dissect. Only because I don't know if it was Didio or if it was Jeff Johns, but one of them wanted to play with the toys from when they were little kids again, and it bit us in the ass in terms of our timelines. And now we ain't had growth in over 20 years. But that's just me.
You're gonna make him go back on his Barry Allen Hal Jordan hate thing.
I'm gonna get shirts made, damn it. I'm gonna get shirts made. Shout out to my man Greg Rucka. Him being back on Batwoman rather, has been just top tier. First issue with Danny was good.
I am excited about this one. My normal LCS that I go to, their orders didn't get put out for DC, and so I had a good shop jump to 2 other shops until I found one, and I was like, yes, foil variant cover. I'm going to buy this and make sure it gets put onto my shelf now, because I missed his first one and I got it in trade paperback, and I ain't missing this one because it's that good. It's that good. Every moment, it's brilliant for the pages, and the final the final shot that they have at the end, he knows how to direct his artist to imply what he wants to imply perfectly with just sharp scenes, and I love that. It's just brilliant.
Very much so. Barbara Gordon breakout. Now, if you wouldn't have put Mariko Tamaki on this book, I'd have said, why do we need this? Like, genuinely, just keep letting Kelly Thompson write Birds of Prey. That's where I can get my babs at. Like, I didn't need this, but because you gave me Tamaki, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And because I know Tamaki's going to kill it. I know Tamaki is a great writer. I know some people just don't like her because of her Starfire, young adult novel, but whatever. I love Tamaki's writing. I still, to this day, here's my hot take of the week. Supergirl being super is a better jumping on point and a better story than Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and I would have rathered James Gunn used Supergirl being super as the basis of the new movie jumping on point, then Woman of Tomorrow, and that you can come at me for that. I don't care.
I can see it only because Woman of Tomorrow isn't like one very well known, and two not even really the basis of what Supergirl becomes in the. So I mean, it was cute though. It was cute.
Right.
I feel like it was a good story, but it's one of those ones that it's a side mission almost, it feels like, for her when it comes down going through her arcs, because it's like she almost has to like go through this stuff and then come back to Earth, and it's like, you know, to get going back into the story and stuff. And so that's kind of how I felt like that is. And for it to be a jumping on point, it's really just depending on how you look at Supergirl. I would have preferred an origin story for Supergirl when it comes down to it, when it like involves her being to actually introduce, because I don't feel like she's actually had proper time when it comes to movies. That's just me personally, though.
Most definitely.
I've seen her still having the little, oh look, Supergirl's here, and then her movie is the origin to tell us how we got here. Like I could have been fine with that.
Yeah. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what comes to that. I'm only reading Fury of Firestorm because of Jeff Lemire. Otherwise, I'm not excited for another Ronnie Raymond story. You could have given me Jason and I'd have been happy. I don't need another Ronnie Raymond story, but we'll see what happens. Zatanna is Prime Magus. So hyped. Jamal Campbell about to kill it.
I'm excited for that one. I had to put that one on my pull list. Started becoming a Zatanna fan, so I'm like, all right, I'm diving in now.
Oh, well, then you've given me hope for exactly what I'm hoping that this story does, and that's to get people to stop sleeping on Zatanna.
I'm like, yeah, I remember before, like, when we first started the show, we were talking about the fact that like Zatanna, like last year, Zatanna with Jamal Campbell was amazing. So hopefully this is just a continuation of that.
Yep, that's why I'm jumping on this. He had me pulled in that, and I'm like, all right, yep, I'm pulling the trigger.
Now, in terms of the continuation of Absolute Batman, I'm all for this whole idea that like Bane just like beat the brakes off of Bruce's best friends that were also conveniently his mainline universe villains. But like, did we need Harvey Dent cut my life into pieces? This is my last resort.
With the 20 bust down. Thank you. Because everyone,
thank you.
Because everyone tells how great this design is, and I'm like, it's probably one of the most basic designs in the Absolute universe at this point.
I'm here for the Penguin one. The Penguin one seems cool because he got crunched into being that way. Like, right. This makes sense.
Yep, exactly. And I've been seeing everybody gloat this. I've been seeing everybody gloat this for the past week now, and I'm like, come on, guys, like we could have had better.
This ain't it.
We could have had better.
I'm glad.
Like this is the first one that ain't hitting for me. Like the other, like Poison Ivy was a banger. Scarecrow looks fucking terrifying, and they're even making anime references with him. Like fucking Bane was amazing. Like
their tease for Joker's been good, even with him just being a normal looking dude. It looks good. Like this, Two-Face could have. They've been doing Two-Face dirty for a while, and I would love to see him actually get some like credit done over the past 10 years, because I feel like they kind of just throw Two-Face to the side since the Batman movie, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. Right. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think Penguin looks dope. Penguin looks freaking gorgeous. Like that looks badass.
Machine Gun go too. I'm just glad it wasn't just us. Because I was like, okay, with the 24-inch bust down, but other than that, this is so lazy.
Right.
Comparison. Okay.
We definitely go see. I am excited for Shea Grayson and Scott Snyder to give us Absolute Catwoman. That's going to be a banger. To all the gooners and the alt-right comics gate grifters, y'all need to shut the fuck up about Absolute Black Canary.
How about this? More Black Canary for me then. Hey.
I'm just saying, like, y'all be so quick to be like, I want a muscle mommy, but then when you get a muscle mommy, y'all want to talk shit. Like, y'all can't be down with a little bit of masculine energy sometimes. Like, girl is coming in looking badass as shit, and I'm like, quit talking shit. Like, just enjoy the ride.
This is the exact cover that my girlfriend wanted me to get because it reminds her of Karlach from Baldur's Gate.
Oh my god!
That is all that I am laying down there.
Fair enough. Then from there, Absolute Wonder Woman's continuing being awesome. I've been loving what Kelly Thompson has been doing. Someone even kind of said it best the other day on Twitter. I'm just not I love Jason Aaron as a writer, but I'm just not feeling Absolute Superman. And I know I'm not alone on this. Absolute Superman is just not hitting for me the way I thought it was. Because there's only so much you can do with the concept of Clark where you can defy the norms. And then when you straight up were hey, yo, we're already going to give him the Kents and give him a blue suit and give him hope. I was then what are we doing? What are we doing here? I don't know what more we can do with Clark to set him apart from just main universe Clark. I love main universe Clark. When people say Superman is boring, I tell you ain't read a good Superman story. But when it comes to putting a dark spin on Superman, maybe it's hyperbolic to say, but it feels genuine. We've had so much deconstructionism over the past few years with Superman where it feels like Jason Aaron is running a fool's errand, where we have Homelander, we have Omni-Man, we have Red Sun, we had a Man of Steel. We've had so much deconstructionism of who Superman is a character that you can't you're trying to reinvent the wheel and it's just not hitting for a lot of people, despite how amazing of a writer Jason Aaron is. And it's just I'm just not feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I'm not. It ain't really hitting for me. Am I out of line here? Help me out here.
No, I agree with you. That's the only thing out of the Absolute Universe that I don't pick up regularly because it hasn't appealed to me. I picked up the first trade paperback, I read it, and I'm it's a good story. It's, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing that's that wow factor, the Absolute Batman has had that wow factor. Absolute Wonder Woman has had wow factor. All of the Absolute titles have some kind of wow factor, and it almost just feels like I'm getting kind of mainline Superman, just in a, they're allowed to go a little bit further with darkness here and there, but it doesn't even feel like they go that far for me, when it's supposed to be an absolute universe, the darkest of dark, but it still feels like it's but Superman's a little bit of hope, and it's really tear that hope away from Superman. I'd like to see that in an absolute Superman scenario,
Right.
Well, I read my absolutes in the volume, in the mini volumes.
Yeah, the trades.
Those, yeah. And so we picked up the trade a few weeks back, the second one for Superman, and I haven't gotten to crack it open yet. So right now my brain is still in that first part, and I absolutely loved it. Now, I was worried that after that it's going to get stale. I was this is great, but I feel like they may not know where to go from here, but I'll I'll be hopeful and see what happens. Again, okay. I haven't opened up the second one yet. I haven't gotten a chance because we got it and then we were everywhere and I haven't been home. And the only thing I cracked open was my Bitterroot Omnibus, which I read the entire thing and am now caught up in the entire series.
Yeah, man.
That and Fumes is the only thing I've had time to read in the last few weeks. So, I don't know. So
Absolute Green Lantern.
My favorite.
Looking great.
Y'all need to jump onto this. I have been loving this series. It has been great. And
cover,
yes, every cover is a hit.
It's just, each one is a banger. I love it.
Even this, I'm this just looks badass. I'm over here loving this shit. So it just
I get individually because I'm not waiting. So
Al Ewing just don't miss.
Absolute series, period.
Flash is dead last. Flash just ain't hitting for me. Actually, Flash is second because I love Jeff Lemire. Not second. It's second to last. It go for me. It goes Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Batman. No, hold on. Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, Superman. Because they just Flash is just not doing it for me. I love that it's Wally. I love that we're doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I just this is probably the slowest burn I felt with Jeff Lemire since Black Hammer. And maybe it's just me, but I don't think we need a slow burn in these books right now.
For the fast
Right, he's the fastest man alive. Like, we don't need a slow burn with this character, and I feel like we need to speed it up. Like, I feel like if it was an indie book, sure, Jeff, take your time, bust it out, like do your thing. But like, it ain't jiving for me.
Yeah, I haven't read Absolute Flash, past issue 2. Maybe I'll try again. But
I'm the only one on this panel that's pulling this book still. I've been enjoying it. I've been loving it. As much as it's like that slow burn, but like that's kind of what I looked for when it came to Flash, because I was kind of hoping to see him slow down a little bit and they like develop the character in this world a little bit more. And I do feel like hopefully if what they're doing correct is that they're going to start speeding a few things up here now that they've like gotten through a story arc and all of that other jazz and finished some certain things off. And so at least issue 1 to the new story, I've been enjoying it. It's been really quick, and then they're just doing a 2-parter, and we'll see where that one goes. But this is still staying on my pull list. I've been enjoying the art. I've been enjoying the read. It's been fun for me, but I also feel like I'm the outlier because, trust me, JP, everybody on TikTok is like, yeah, no, I ain't about this.
And like, I want to support it because I love Jeff Lemire. I love Wally West. I say Wally West is the best Flash. I'm always that guy. But it's just like, can you just put the running shoes on this man and let him do his thing? Like, I need you to pick it up a little bit, like just something.
To be like, I like a slow burn, but honestly, a Flash story, it's just not hitting.
Like, what if we make Flash go slow? I'm like, no.
But that's
come on,
the antithesis of the Flash.
Like, just some characters don't need to do that. Now, I have a message for the Poison Ivy community over on Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, etc.
Oh God, all the places I'm not at, what they do.
I really need y'all to understand something. This is a fictional character. I understand. I have my favorite characters up on my wall. I just got a tattoo for one of my favorite characters in one of James Tynan's books.
Well, he's hot.
No. Like, there's something about characters like Magic or characters like Poison Ivy where these characters do something like viscerally responsive to these these fans, where they feel like an undying like love for them, where they feel a necessary to issue death threats.
Yeah.
People were so mad that in the last issue, G. Willow Wilson broke up Harley and Ivy, that they started to issue her death threats. And I'm like, y'all need to cut it out. You're lucky this book is getting to 45 issues because y'all have put so much love into it. This is unheard of that a book like this is getting this long. And y'all are issuing the writer death threats?
Do you want to know what you just said that hooked me onto this Poison Ivy run now? Is the fact that she broke up with Harley. As much as I love Harley Quinn, that is actually an interesting thing to me right there.
It's interesting. I will give that.
Yeah. Like, that actually throws me into being like, okay, this actually, like, something's going to go here. There's going to be some, like, story arc that might happen at this point. Like, that actually threw me into wanting to pick up this series now.
I don't know what it is about fandoms, period. It's okay to not like things. It's not okay to tell people to die.
Right.
Stop that.
Like, I remember when like during Ridley's run, they took like the kingship away from T'Challa, and all these fans were ready to fucking murk John Ridley, and I'm like, y'all need to cut it out. Or like, I remember when as wrong as it was really messed up what Tim Seeley did in that Marvel Unlimited exclusive book for Magic of like back in December, November. Yeah, I viscerally remember reading on Twitter, I want to scalp Tim Seeley. I'm like, ain't no white man worth that. Ain't no white man going that hard for it. Like, this is a fictional character, bruh. Like, this white man ain't gonna change your life. This white man ain't gonna do nothing crazy for you. So why are we going so like I ain't never loved a character enough to for a death threat is what Diesel said in chat, and I'm like, that is so real. So we just cut it out, y'all.
Even if they do something terrible, like with the magic thing that makes you kind of side eye them, just know that you want to avoid that person from now on.
The one thing I did want to talk about is they did announce a lot of the Pride variants and stuff like that. Like Harley's getting a Pride variant. Detective's gonna have a Pride variant with Tim, which I find hilarious. Wonder Woman's gonna have a newbie Pride variant, which looks gorgeous. It was done by Fatima Wajid. Oh, beautiful.
That's such a beautiful cover.
Yes, love that.
I saw that.
This is twice now that they have gotten Bruno. What is it, Bruno Redondo? Hold on. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, Bruno Redondo. Like, this is twice now they've got Bruno Redondo to give me a gorgeous black variant cover, because they had this with Black Lightning and they had Mr. Terrific last year. Y'all need to quit playing in my face. We are at how many days?
So again, I say
1,132 days.
Pride Month is like Black History Month Part 2. Just like, here's
Cap, we are getting a couple of variant covers. I don't know if
there's
a game man.
What did you say, Superboy?
I'm gonna say, well, like, I don't know if Superboy got one. I don't know. I don't know if John got a Pride variant or not. Let me see.
I'm sorry, I said Superboy. Tomorrow Man.
Tomorrow Man. But like, I mean, it's a cool name, but I don't think John got a Pride variant. Harley got 2. Which is crazy.
Harley's going
three. She got 3 of them.
Harley's going to get the Pride Month. Pride Month is Harley.
They have another one that's counted for hers in her old outfit too, so that's technically 4.
Jesus Christ. I know Jackson Hyde Aquaman got one in the Aquaman stuff. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, what about Kyle? Did Kyle get one?
Let me just do let me just Control F the Pride ones. We're getting a, like, I do want to look at this giant spread right here, because this spread, you got you have Ace representation with Connor Hawke. You have your first ever gay superhero in Extraño. You have Renee Montoya. You have Jonathan. You have Clark and Jonathan Kent, and then you have Kate Kane. Alan Scott's not here, which I find weird. Star Sapphire, Carol Ferris is here. Bruce is here. Adam Strange is here. Mr. Terrific is here because he's like default black man now. And Wonder Woman is here now. And Tasmanian Devil's here. Joe's here. Dreamer and Galaxy are here. Okay. Wonder Woman's here. And Green Arrow's here.
Okay.
The reason why Carol Oliver, Adam Strange, and one other one. I think it's just them are all here is because they're all part of this like Justice League Galactic book that's going on with Dreamer and Galaxy. So like they're getting a little nod as a part of that, but at the same time, it's like, why are we? Just like I get why the Trinity's here, because like, oh, they're the top dogs of the universe. But why is Mr. Terrific default black man now?
So
who decided
that? Because he's popular now, I guess. Though apparently, I never actually watched the Arrowverse in completion, but apparently they had him depicted as gay in there.
Yeah, I forgot they did that. But that man has a whole wife and child in the main universe, and it don't make like so. Like they need to fix that.
He's bi.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think they ever pulled that trigger.
I don't know. They, like you said,
I'll have to pull in the Green Arrow enthusiast to be like, where does he land? Apparently, because I didn't even know anything about that from the TV show.
I mean, I knew about it. I just repressed it. If that makes sense. Oh, Pride variant.
Oh, okay, he doesn't. Okay, I was like, come on, that doesn't. So they left out Alan Scott.
I think Alan Scott probably got a JSA. Also, can we talk about this Nightwing Stephanie Brown cover? Oh my God, John Boy Myers. Oh my Lord. Like, just Titans in general is just banging right now. Like, I'm excited for this new team. Shout out to Tate Bromble for bringing back my man Eddie Bloomberg, a.k.a. Red Devil, because he kind of got left into the ether for a long time, and that pissed me off. So, shout out to Tate for that. I really appreciate you. Ivy got a Pride variant, I think. Is this supposed to be the Pride variant because it has a rainbow on it? I guess.
It was literally one with her and And Harley.
I love how Tim just got benched in Detective or like in the Batman book, but you gave him a Pride variant. Make it make sense, DC.
But he's still here though. He's benched, but he's still here though.
He's only here to PK, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that Renee variant though go hard.
I love Renee Montoya so much, honestly.
Beautiful. I'm gonna say Kate. It says she has a Pride variant, but I don't see the Pride variant. We'll see what happens there. But that looks like the end of the Pride variants. But like we're getting a mini series about Dreamer and Galaxy tying into Pride Month. So like definitely keep an eye on that. Like Nicole Ames and Jatsia are writing that together. So definitely peep that if you were interested in those characters. I know like ever since Nicole Ames had the ability to bring Dreamer into the main canon, it's been a lot of fun for like to see that go on. So the whole thing is just like them being in the main canon and like going on an adventure, which is super cool. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But that's kind of where like the DC solicitations kind of ended for me. Like there's cool stuff with Vertigo coming out, which is super cool. I will say, you're telling me it's 1,132 days with no Black ongoing, but fucking Jarrell has a mini series going on right now called Superman: Father of Tomorrow.
But
can we get a bone? Can we get something? Just one thing, please.
For this, thank you.
This is one of those ones where it's just like, who asked for this? I don't know.
For this, seriously, Jimmy Jarrell's cool, I guess, but what do we really need? What more do we really need from him?
Then we'll skim through the Marvels. We finally have the first reveals of what Armageddon is going to be about. Red Hulk's devastation tears across the globe must be stopped, but it will take the colossal gathering of the Avengers teaming together with the Avengers, or the Fantastic Four, and Wolverine and more to go against this legion of Hulks that Red Hulk is forming. And I'm like, do we need to make an event out of Ross right now? I don't know.
Yes, because Red Hulk is all the rage right now. Didn't you know?
So I will say this. We are getting a Jonathan Hickman, Adam Kubert, Spider-Man Long Way Home tie-in book, which is going to be just a little mini series out of the main canon about Hulk, Spider-Man, and Frank from a couple years ago, quote unquote. That like is supposed to be a tie-in to the movie to get folks interested in these characters. This is what DC and Marvel should do if they have a movie coming out or a TV show coming out about these characters. Stop messing with my canon just because you want a little bit of synergy with your shit.
Right.
This is what you need to do.
Also,
it won't confuse non-comic readers.
Exactly. And that's the big thing too, is it's a jumping on point for comic readers. So this point, like, people can now go in and be like, oh, I hear about this, I know about this, I have seen the TV shows and the movies, and I know what's going on. You could pick up a comic. If you like this comic, guess what? You can now jump on to basically anything other Spider-Man, Hulk, or Punisher related, because you have this to reference back to now. You can go, do I like this? I can now read something else that's similar, and then you can gauge and see how it goes from there. Like, that's how it should be done. It's a great intro point.
Yes.
Man, it's just wild. And because look what Infernal Hulk's doing right now. Like, Philip Kennedy Johnson is setting up a whole fucking like Hulk event where they're like doing all this weird stuff, and it's like they're not interrupting his shit to make a random Hulk synergy tie-in. This is what you should always be doing. Don't interrupt random events for synergy. Don't interrupt whole character arcs for synergy. Do this. Give people side shit. Give people like not involving side shit that doesn't conflict with what's going on, and let them have fun elsewhere. That's what I say. Like we're getting more Doom shit that they're gonna retcon Doom's origin that way it's slightly adjacent to Robert Downey Jr. because they have a movie coming out. Because like apparently they've already like retconned the fact that he's supposed to be Romani, and they changed his last name to something super white sounding.
And that pisses me off because now it's also taking some representation off the table.
Yeah. And it's just like, can we stop doing that, please? I beg. Like, I need it to
Allows for
stop.
them to be like, see, it's okay for us to cast a white person because he's now a white person.
It's just annoying. And like honestly, there's just like I will say, shout out to Saladin Ahmed, to the people who were on Twitter going, "Oh my God, Bishop's getting a new ongoing." No, he's not. It's a mini series. Like Marvel's at like 40 some days since they've had a black ongoing, so they gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that clock get a little bit higher. And if we don't see a Miles book come out or a Black Panther book come out like when it comes to the movie synergy here soon, we gonna start counting their days too. But I'm also giving Marvel a little bit of slack, and we'll even use this as a segue to talk about our next topic real quick, kids. So well-known Spider-Man writer Dan Slott was on the Word Bubble podcast this past week, where he talked about the same things that I've been talking about, that we've talked about on the show, that I've talked about in multiple different videos for the past year, where he said you have to pre-order your books, you have to do a pull list, the comic stores need to care about books beyond just the issue 1, etc., etc., etc.
Still listening. And flow.
Honestly, like genuinely. And it was so funny too. But for some reason, because it came from Dan Slott, you saw everybody and their mama either thinking, oh my God, Marvel is failing. They're having to have one of their biggest writers beg on a podcast for support. Like all these weird comics gators were eating this up, trying to be like, oh my God, Marvel's failing, yada yada. I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's not what he said. Stop acting like that's what he said. And then you had a lot of people saying on Twitter that like, oh, right message, wrong messenger, because Slott has been toxic to his fans and blocked his fans over shit. And I'm like, look, dog, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't envy Dan Slott as a writer. I don't envy any comic book writer, no offense, Tashi, because the amount of hatred and vitriol y'all get when it comes to being comic book writers, when it comes to, like, especially when it comes to Spider-Man. Could you imagine the amount of nonsensical bullshit that Dan Slott or Cody Ziegler or Philip Kennedy Johnson or Jed McKay, all these different dudes who have written Spider-Man over the years, have to deal with on social media from idiot fans who think they know what's best for Peter Parker? They know what's best. They need to bring back the Mary Jane marriage. You need to retcon the past 10 years of his stories and yada yada. Or like they'll issue you death threats and whatnot. I'm not saying everything Dan Slott has done deserves a pass when it comes to how he's treated folks, but I can genuinely understand his position when people are down your neck. Like I was having a talk with a creator this past week where they were talking about the fact they get death threats and stuff like that. And we just talked about that when it comes to Poison Ivy and G. Willow Wilson. Like, these creators are going through hell over some comic books, over some fictional characters that don't affect your... Like Peter Parker ain't gonna pay your bills. Peter Parker ain't... Like Peter Parker ain't gonna pay your bills. He ain't gonna marry you. Like I know ChatGPT out here doing marriages and shit, but like these motherfuckers ain't gonna marry you. They ain't gonna pay your bills. They ain't gonna feed you. So like genuinely, I know the grifters like to live off this shit, but can we stop with taking motherfuckers out of context and actually read the room? Because and I quoted the comedian Eddie Griffin in my video. Who gives a fuck about who the messenger was? Did you get the message? Because the comic industry isn't suffering. The comic industry isn't dying. It's the fact that like we created this pattern that Marvel has like started to do. They don't see crazy amounts of sales for issue 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So why the hell would they not go back to the issue 1 and cash in on the issue 1 sales? I'm not saying they're right for doing it. I think it's a horrible business practice because it alienates new fans. They think it's going to bring in new fans because they think it's a new jumping off point, new number 1. Oh my God, it's numerical, guys. But it's genuinely not a good jumping on point for new fans because they don't fully understand what's going on. They don't understand that in 10 issues, you're just going to relaunch it again, even if it's mid-storyline. And it doesn't make any damn sense. So it frustrates me, and I don't understand why they do it. B, what are your thoughts on this nonsense?
Well, It's basically kind of the same thing that we've talked about for the longest of time, to where if you want to see these stories continue, you've got to continue to pull them and get them past issue 3, 4, and 5. So that way, Marvel knows that these are selling. Because, like, Stephanie Phillips did a video a little bit earlier this week that was talking about how her She-Hulk's ending on issue 6 right now. And the reason why is because issue 1, 2, and 3 didn't get the sales that it needed to get past to issue 6. She did not get the green light to continue writing the series. And so they put her on Daredevil, and now she's working on Daredevil, and that's how the industry goes. She would have still loved writing for She-Hulk, but the fans didn't show up for She-Hulk in this series, And that's no hate on the She-Hulk fans. I didn't think there was going to be that much movement for this. When I heard it was a miniseries, I was like, that's probably going to stay a miniseries. Not a lot of people pull She-Hulk, But, like, here's the thing. When it comes to Daredevil, there's hope for that one. This creator could write a whole bunch of Daredevil stuff because he's popular now, But that's how Marvel plays their game, is like, we're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it sweet. If we can get it up to 5 issues, we can get a trade paperback out, and then we can get some money off of that and keep the ball rolling. And we're not even going to stress about having to pay the writers even extra, Like, it sucks for the industry at this point, because I'd love to see Stephanie Phillips continue with what she's been writing. She's making She-Hulk Queen of Planet Hulk. That is freaking dope. And if you can't get on a jumping point for that, like, I don't know what to tell you. That's fucking badass for this character.
I agree mostly, but I also remember something I think you said, JP, before, is that Marvel and DC need to be the ones educating people on how sales work. Because that's
Yes.
like, yes, Daredevil, because the people who like the characters that have kind of always been there and always been somewhat popular, those are the people who know how sales work. Or at the very least, they're going to do it regardless. But the new people coming in don't know how sales work, and some of the older people. So if it is a newer character that's not maybe as popular or loved, people are just going and saying, "Oh, that came out, I'm going to pick it up." And so now it's looking like no one wants it regardless. So whether it's people aren't buying it or it just looks like people aren't buying it, they got to start educating people on how this works, because people might listen to them talking about it a little bit more than the rest of us, or they need to change how the system works, and we know that's not going to happen.
And it's just like, I think the best way I could put it is like to piggyback off what you said, is that like Dan Slott is doing us a service here. He's explaining like the system, and like a big shout out to people like Scott Snyder, Stephanie Phillips, or even people like Joseph Village or Stephanie Williams or Morgan Hampton or Nicholas Draper Ivey, who have been giving people these glimpses into how the comic industry works. But someone said it best on TikTok the other day. The comic industry is archaic as fuck. Like, we need to start utilizing social media better. We need to actually work with individuals. Like, it's cool that you'll send out social media packages to some fans every once in a while. That's very cool that you do that. But like, genuinely, like even if you have to stick to this weird ordering system, how about value digital some more? How about work with social media more and work with social media content creators? Like, actually expand your brand. Like, I was like for those who don't know, who didn't see my post about it, I was at Corpse Tour yesterday with James Tynion IV for his book Exquisite Corpses. Shout out to the Tiny Onion team for actually making me a 5X shirt, because like they didn't actually have them in stock originally. But genuinely, the question that I asked him during the sold out Q&A was, how do you change your mentality from doing a 5 to 6 issue made for the trade book at the big two, and then shift your mindset to do whatever you want with your own content and make fun stories? And like, if you even look at the deluxe edition omnibuses for Something is Killing the Children, it like has a certain amount of issues and then jumps to the other storyline, because like a few of the issues in a mini arc are going to be in a different deluxe edition, because that they have their own different plot line and stuff like that. They want to make sure you read this in a subsequent order later on. Like, that's really cool. How did you break yourself of those habits? And he straight up just said, because I wanted to. It's my, like, I put the work in. I developed these relationships with these companies, and like it was unheard of when he did like the woods over at Boom. It was unheard of, but it did so well that Boom developed trust in him to where he could do 12, 24 issues, etc. And now over at Image, he's gotten a big enough game to where he can do Something is Killing the Children over at Boom, then come to Image and do Exquisite Corpses, Department of Truth, season 2 of Exquisite Corpses, multiple spin-offs of Exquisite Corpses, and he has that clout. But the problem is the big two haven't figured it out yet that people don't want new jumping on points. They just want to know where to start. They want to know where to start in a logical order where it's well enough printed where they actually can do things. And people like longevity, but some people do like the manga method of sometimes a book just stops, which is fine, but not every book has to stop. And that's the problem with their system, is that you can have an ongoing story and fun things like that. But if it's a modern story, make sure there's a logical jumping on point where you don't need 50, 60, 70 years worth of history just to understand what the fuck is going on. Because I even said this about Matt Fraction's Batman recently. It's a great read. It's a great jumping on point for some people, but some people are going to be like, who's Tim Drake? Who's Damian Wade? Who's this character, that character? Like, it's a problem to where there's so much back lore where some people don't want to jump into that versus Absolute Batman. It's like number one is number one. Absolute Wonder Woman, number one is number one. Like, there's no convoluted nonsense of relaunch here, etc. No, that is number one, motherfucker. And that's where the Absolute universe has thrived.
Yep.
100% agree.
Diesel said, why don't major publishers print on demand? I think it's just the rigorous schedule they're on. And like, I was even talking to a comic book publisher, a comic book store owner this past week, where they even said that, like, because of how many books are being published these days, like, some stores are just getting fucked over right now, where, like, if a bigger store needs copies of a book, if you're not pre-ordering this shit, the bigger store is going to get the copy over the smaller store. So, like, it definitely be like that, where they just can't really afford to print on demand these days, to be honest with you. So that's just where that is, and then so just to wrap up that whole thing with Slot is just pay attention, listen to what motherfuckers are saying. Like are there problematic figures in the world? Sure, like everyone was freaking the fuck out when they found out Chuck Norris was down with some bad folks this past week, but just because you may have a critical opinion of Dan Slott doesn't mean a broken clock can't strike right a couple times here and there. So maybe pay the fuck attention.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah. And then the one cool thing I wanted to talk about that was kind of cool that came out, the Hollywood, actually, no, it was Entertainment Weekly. Entertainment Weekly announced that we now know the plot of the upcoming Boom Studios Power Rangers comic. And I want to be excited. I want to be down to clown with this, but I will wholeheartedly admit I got some smoke for the Power Rangers community still about this damn book, because Power Rangers Prime was the ultimate resurgence of Power Rangers. It was the ultimate fresh jumping on point for new readers, and folks couldn't get down with it. They didn't support it well enough. And now we're back to Mighty Morphin, guys. Yay! And it just like, if you didn't catch our interview with Melissa Flores a few episodes ago, genuinely, it was such a great time hearing how passionate she is about Power Rangers. She created the Power Rangers Bible when Saban bought back the license from Disney. And it breaks my heart that we're back to this. But like, Marguerite Bennett is a well enough a veteran of the industry to where I'm intrigued. I'm excited. The premise sounds dope, that the original 6 are going to be adults. But like, I don't know. Thoughts, people, thoughts.
I've never been the biggest Power Ranger fan in like the manner of like I know everything that's going on in the lore wise. I saw a few movies here and there. I used to have a poster on my wall when I was a little kid, and I could never point out of who was who, and so that's where I'm going to leave that. But I feel like I skimmed through this when I saw the announcement, and I felt like as somebody who knows very little of Power Rangers, good jumping on point. This is a great, like, for new people, if you're wanting to get into Power Rangers, definitely a thing you can try to do. But like, from what I saw, how some of the community was reacting on how excited they were, but these were people who already delved deep into this like thing. It was just like how it feels like it's almost like a kick in the butt for me, because it's like you guys had something that was really good. And like I've gone back and started reading some of that stuff, and that stuff is really, really good. But you guys are almost like, we had it, but now we're having to restart it, and it feels like I'm gonna have to relearn some things again as somebody who just started getting into Power Rangers, you know? And like that kind of throws people off of the series now, because some people are like, now I have to restart again and learn new information. So it hurts. It hurts.
I watched Power Rangers, all of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all the movies, the movie when it came back, but I was never a Power Rangers comic person.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just like I want to be excited for this. I'm gonna read it because Marguerite Bennett is a beast at what she does, but I'm just like I feel like the Into the Spider-Verse meme again. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of the same shit. But hopefully this is enough. Right, I'm tired of this shit, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. And like, hopefully this leads to some new stuff and like the new ideas and stuff. Well, we'll see. In terms of next week's books, folks, let me pull my league back up here because I was looking at league a second ago. Next week we have, in terms of new books coming out, the first issue of the new arc of Flash by Ryan North is coming out this week. Wally West is back in his OG suit with a little bit of redesign. That's going to be really exciting for some people. Ryan North was killing it over at Marvel recently with Fantastic Four, I believe. So that's going to be dope. Absolute Wonder Woman number 18. This has been amazing. Absolute Zatanna has been thirsting the internet out. So that's going to be dope for some people who have been loving what Kelly Thompson is doing. Spider-Man Superman dropped this week, so we will definitely be going in depth and talking about this. This is going to be insane.
I am so happy this week is pay week.
It's going to be great. We definitely going to be talking about this next week. To all the variant cover hunters, I wish you Godspeed, because dear God, there's a lot of variant covers. You ain't gonna catch me out here liking like that. I'm grabbing my Sarah Pacelli cover and my Sanford Green cover, and I'm getting the fuck out of there. Because I ain't got time for that. I'm about to say, if you're a Green Lantern fan, they're doing more shit with Hal Jordan, which gross.
I actually like to do shit with John, but that's cool.
I mean, you can read Green Lantern Corps for that, which is dope because Morgan Hampton's killing that.
I'm gonna say I'm glad Morgan's on that, because that's why that's so good. I would
most definitely. Department of Truth has been amazing from James Tynion. Make sure you check that if you're down for that. I've heard good things about the new Punisher from Benjamin Percy. So like if you're a Frank fan, definitely check that out. And then there was one other one I wanted to make sure I highlighted this week. Ripcord number 2 from Ignition comes out this week. Cullen Bunn is a great writer. I love what he does. And also, more people just need to pay attention to Ignition. Ignition's been killing it when it comes to books. And more people need to be looking at Ignition's direction. You're missing out on a great series and whatnot. I definitely feel like more people need to be paying attention. Just read more indie, period, kids. Read more indie, period. That's all I got for you in terms of this week. That's Tashi, what do you want to leave these people with when it comes to episode 37 of Comics Unmasked? What do you want to leave these people with for this week?
Take your allergy medicine, guys, and drink lots of water with it, so you don't feel like you're dying.
Fair enough. B, what do you want to leave people with for issue 37?
We talked about this a lot this podcast. Be nice to one another, please, because you don't need to be sending threatening messages. You don't need to be going out getting into people's faces. We can calm down and have constructive criticisms about our comic books. There's a time to get into people's faces, and it's not in comic book world. And so go out, touch grass. I'm not going to recommend to smoke it, but if you do it, then you need to relax, because people, y'all are stressing me out with what's going on in this world, and I just want to read comics, and everything is crazy. So let's breathe, please.
You know, I have had the privilege of interviewing some amazing creators this past week. Not only are you getting this episode this week, but you are getting an amazing interview with Stephanie Williams. You're getting an amazing interview with David F. Walker to talk about his Kickstarter for the Monster of Blackenstein, not to be confused with Blackenstein. Genuinely, there is so much good work, good comic books that are coming out right now from these different publishers. And I say, as frustrated as I am with the big two, as frustrated as I am, you don't see me out here issuing death threats. You don't see like did I mention it twice about the DC So White stuff a couple times in this episode? Yeah. But do you see me issuing death threats about it? No, because DC wouldn't listen to me if I was. Like, Marvel wouldn't listen to me if I started talking about Marvel So White. Like, we would not be able to have productive conversations about what we're concerned about if we were just bashing this stuff, not having productive conversations. And it might be the title of the episode this week, and I'm gonna say it real quick. As much as I love comic books, and I love how passionate folks are about comic books, it ain't that deep that you need to be issuing death threats about some comic books. Like, that's one of the few times you will ever hear me say it ain't that deep, when you out here issuing death threats about some motherfucking comic books. Do I think comics are the best medium ever to be invented when it comes to talking about stuff? Yes. But at the same time, genuinely, it is not that deep. Mike, I see you in chat asking us about Powers from Bendis moving forward to Netflix. We will talk about that next week. We will do listener questions. We can bring that up or just talk about it in general. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up the shit. Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget that you can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio. Make sure that you rate the show over on Apple and Spotify. That way they can find us better in the algorithm. Rating us 5 stars definitely helps. And then if you ever want to join the Discord, hang out with us, we have some amazing folks that are talking daily in the Discord about comic books and how much they love them. Definitely come through at discord.comicsunmasked.com. We're definitely going to start doing listener questions again this next week. We just had a busy week because of solicitations, so we kind of ran over a little bit this week. But we will catch y'all next time right here at Comics Unmasked. Peace out.